Hey folks, this is Chris Whalen, WSI Digital Win, coming back another week with Searching for You. Looking at those search terms that are high either right now, seasonally or peaking, or regularly high as a baseline, and especially speaking to those businesses that want to get in front of those particular searches. And how you do that. So look at those search markets and look at the best practices currently in front of that traffic, at least locally here in Louisville. So this week's focus is on, it's not going to be a surprise for you when you see it, drum roll while I share screen, fitness trainers, personal fitness trainer at home. So personal fitness, it's January, right? New Year's resolutions, commitment to getting back into shape, at least for the time being. And then at home shouldn't surprise anybody either because we're still in the throes of COVID and all that sensitivity to still being to social distancing and to sanitization, of surfaces, especially services and people who come into your home. So this is definitely reflecting that that people are still sensitive to getting out and exposed. So let's dive into this search market and see what the opportunities are for personal fitness trainers in Louisville. All right, so first your orientation to this landscape here, to the SERP, Search Engine Results page. At the top, you've got the paid search ads, the PPC ads, that stands for pay per click. And you're all familiar with those. And then you go down and you have the Google local results. Okay, so I'll go back through here and go through these. You get here basically by completing your Google My Business profile. I'm happy to help you with that. You can do it yourself, but there are some missteps. You want to make sure that you get this right. And then the organic results, otherwise known as SEO results. And basically, this is like a popularity contest, right? The better the content, the more relevant it is for for whatever particular search, then it rises to the top. And this is what businesses want to focus on, is to get to the top of that search for their top search terms. These results are obviously down below the Google local on the page, right? They come after that. I've got them positioned up here just for the layout of this slide in this presentation. So I'm going to go over those real quick. But first, this is a Louisville-based autofill search term, the personal fitness trainer at home. And what I mean by that is, say I'm interested in getting into shape, looking for a personal fitness trainer. I want to get motivated, somebody to hold me accountable, right? So I start typing in personal fitness trainer, and at least here in Louisville, probably in most markets, but this is geography based, very locally based. As soon as you start typing that in, Google autofills a completion of this phrase to say at home. So they're throwing that out there. I know you see this all the time, but just to make sure you understand what it's all about, they throw it out there because that is the top trending search term that goes along with this term. It's top trending. That shows you a lot about where the interests are in your market. It's very, very important to understand what is top trending. And so if you're in this business, if you're a trainer, are you paying attention to this? And are you optimizing for this? And are you getting in front of not just this traffic for personal fitness trainers, but this traffic for at home? So let's see how all of these folks are doing, right? The pay per click ads. So you pay for each click. I'll be happy to have a conversation with you about this. It is not as risky as it sounds. Money won't go flying out the window. You can absolutely control it. That's what I do. I manage these PPC campaigns. Been doing that since 2005. At the top, okay, we have Gym Guys. This is a franchise, and this is obviously the local of the franchisee of the franchise. So this is really interesting. Their name is Gym Guys. Doesn't suggest at home, although it is a mobile physical fitness or personal training service. And that's the whole premise of this business, is that they take it to you. It's not in the name, and then unfortunately, it is not in their ad at all. So nothing about in-home here. Now they control everything in the ad, your message in the ad. You could be running offers for January, for New Year's resolution, packages and specials and introductory, rates and all of that. But nothing like that here. And none of these call outs that they have here are speaking to at home or introductory or New Year's resolutions, anything like that. So they're missing an opportunity to really optimally appeal to what these people are looking for. Okay. It's interesting because we'll get back to them over here. And really, it's a good case to see where people are using PPC when they're already at the top of SEO. So I'll get back to that. These two are directories, okay, Thumbtack and Bark. So not many people other than them are, gym guys are taking advantage of getting to the top of this space with some paid search ads and seeing how that returns for them, how many of those click and how many of those convert into business. This is a great opportunity for fitness trainers right now to be here with their own message and their own offers. So in Google My Business, not a whole lot of opportunity to customize these messages. You want to fill out you want to complete your profile with all of your services, and you do want to control this wording as much as possible in your Google My Business profile, which is why you really need to know what you're doing. It's why I suggest give me a call to help you fill this out. The top ranking, and this is all based on who's closest to you, right? So the top listing in the Google local is Home Fit Personal Training Company. This is a good fit. This is a great fit for this particular search term. This is probably the best result on this particular page because of their name, and they are obviously focused on a home. Google knows this, so relevance-wise, they put them at the top of the list. They have 4.3 star reviews and about 50, more than 50 of them. So this is a really strong result here. Body and Soul Personal Training. They're in the Highlands, I believe. And they have in-home personal training. I went to their website and saw it in services, but it's buried in there. None of these sites have big special offers on their homepage right now to say introductory, get back into it. This is January. Really cater to New Year's resolutions, and nobody really has a big call out for in-home and safe in-home, with mask wearing and sanitization practices for, COVID. A couple of them have a kind of a regular COVID, announcement somewhere on the site. But given what this statement is saying, these personal trainers really need to be kind of in front of this message. And then Body Quest, I believe, is a gym specific based company. So it's nearby, but it is not meeting the at home requirement. So at the top of the search, the SEO results, the organic search results, you see Gym Guys again. Now in their meta title, for this particular page, which is probably their home page, personal trainers in-home personal training. So for this, they do hit it, on the mark. They're at the top of this search. They're in a really good position here at the top of organic. The rest of these results are directories, or they're about becoming a fitness trainer, and it's more about, it's not who. So there is a really decent opportunity for personal fitness trainers to optimize their pages for this term, get in front of that traffic, and could get to the relatively to the top of this search relatively fast. So Gym Guys, they are at the top of this search, and they're also using PPC. Why? A lot of people might, business owners just getting into digital marketing might think that's a waste or is just plain dumb. But you see this pretty frequently with people who are really going after digital marketing. They get here, they're obviously working for it, and they test PPC. And when they test PPC, they find out they're getting a positive return right off the bat. So if you're getting a positive return on this traffic and with pretty fast cash flow, what do? You don't want to leave this position to your competitors. So you want to stay here. And if you were on a test budget, now you want to open up your budget and get as much of this traffic and as many of these impressions as you can get, right? That's why they're doing both. They would not be here if they weren't getting a return, a favorable return on this investment. So that's the name of the game for PPC. You test it, and if it's positive, you crank it up, and you keep it. And there was a saying that I used to use quite a bit in direct marketing before Google even came along. You invest to the last profitable dollar. So as long as it's paying off for you, you just keep ramping it up. You keep increasing it to the last profitable dollar, and that's absolutely the case for PPC. So 95% of the clicks on this whole page, on the page one of Google, are going to be from the top, including the ads, through the Google local, and through about the third position here, right? So if you're still trying to climb this ladder, and even if you're at the top, as we see, then you can force yourself to the top of the page. You can put your message in front of people, in front of this traffic, right here, with a tailored message that appeals to them with the PPC opportunity. So 95+% of the people on this page click from here to about there. I think I hit that one hard enough. We'll go on to the next slide. It is about over 5,000 right now, the searches for a personal fitness trainer, which is why I'm here today focusing on this, and also because it's a really unique situation with the at-home emphasis on that search term. So 2020, before COVID hit, this search for personal fitness trainers peaked in January at about 5,000, with 2,500 of them being mobile. And then COVID hit, right? We went into hibernation. We went into quarantine and heavy hibernation mode. And personal fitness kind of took a back seat to, well, we got into landscaping and puzzles and things like that. But crossword puzzles probably were like this, at the time. But so personal fitness training went down or decreased. It kind of bottomed out here. And then we probably had enough of experimenting with, s'mores in the microwave oven, and total indulgence of this period, if you recall, and saw ourselves on Zoom and decided, I got to get back into shape. So this is really interesting that the search market for personal training is much flatter across the year than I would have thought. I would have thought after January it would, come down to less than 50%, and then, back up again. But this is really encouraging for personal fitness trainers. If you're not using digital marketing, then this is a really good, significant search volume. 5,000, if you can get 3%, of those clicks, if you can get 500 or so, or 50, and then about 15-20% of those can contact you. How much of that can you convert into business? And then what is your revenue per conversion? And so it's really simple math to do this projection, right? And then you test it for 2 months. So body and soul, real quick, on some of these people who are I've got some tools that I can look into show you not only where you're ranking, for your search terms, but competitors as well, and their movement along, the ranks and per search term, Gym guys, anybody who's using PPC, paid search in your market, I can tell you generally what they're paying per month, how many clicks that they're getting out of it, and therefore what the cost per click is. And the cost per click for personal trainers is around $1, a little bit more than $1, and that's actually really good at a good level for testing, for a couple months. So interesting thing about Body and Soul is that they rank really high for personal training Louisville. They're obviously working on their SEO. They're not getting a ton of clicks for it, but for personal training at home, which is, peaking right now locally, above just personal training, they're on page 41. I mean, excuse me, they're at the ranked 41, which means they're around page 4 or 5, and they're getting 0 clicks off of it because nobody's going past the first page of Google, right? This is really important to know what is trending in your search right now and being sure that you're optimizing your content for those top trending search terms. So, back on PPC really quick. So if they're getting, those are about, as I said, about $1. It is a matter of doing the math and testing it out. And so, again, I've been doing this since 2005. So we get out in front of it and we set expectations and you set a budget. And that is what the next slide is all about. So I don't have any two clients or I won't have any two clients in the same vertical. I won't compete clients against each other. I don't currently have a fit personal trainer as a client. And so this is why, with this great search volume that's out there right now and this great opportunity to get a fitness trainer in that space, I know what that opportunity is. I know that it's like successful right away to put people in front of that search on track with their exact search sensitivities, in-home personal fitness training. So if a personal trainer wants me to handle their 2-month test right now, I'll do a special package for $1,200, set up and manage. That's for the 2-month test. Normally it would be $650 to set it up, $650 a month to test it. So that's $1,300 up front and then $650 the second month of testing. So this is a $1,200 package for 2 whole months setting up and testing it. I'm offering this because I know what a success it will be, and you'll keep it running month after month after month after month, and I'll be looking forward to working with you, which is why I can make this offer. You're getting the top of page traffic and you're going to be relevant for those people looking for you. So it'll be successful. You also have your Google click cost to pay, which you can budget it somewhere around a couple $100 the first month and see, if it automatically starts converting to sales and you're ROI positive right away. Again, you just ramp it up, as fast as you can to get all of those impressions once you know it's positive. So then budget doesn't become as much of an issue as just being able to have the bandwidth to keep up with that business. So 15 years of managing PPC for a positive ROI. This is my own pro forma model. For every client, I'm going to put this model together to look at what your expected traffic is, your impressions, the search volume, the clicks that I expect you to get out of that, and then the contacts you get out of those, and the conversions that you expect to get out of those. And then these are your costs, whether it's just this package or if we have to do any website work or landing page work, anything like that, that'll be in here. So everything is completely transparent, itemized. And then we look at your average revenue for sales conversions. And then just extrapolate all of that out to look at, when we expect you to go positive. After 2 months, if you're not happy with the results, then you don't move forward. And in the meantime, you get the best possible market research you could get, looking at the number of clicks that came through your website by keyword and then looking at the path that they took through your website to see where they dropped off and where they converted into contacts. And so, running a PPC campaign not only, is one of the best lead generation and real time, cash flow generating and revenue generating tools there is, but it is the best market research because it's real time, real market data. So, and in websites, website optimization, SEO, if we talk about, just getting you started, we can also talk about this and see what your other needs and opportunities are. For fitness trainers and for any other business owners, do everything else pretty much under the sun too. I don't do everything myself directly, but I can either refer you out to somebody who might be highly specialized, for example, in CRM and relationship marketing and email, marketing automation, those inbound strategies. I work on the strategy for some of those campaigns, and then can either outsource and manage some of that or refer you, to some of my partners who do a really good job in some of these other specialties. That's my overall approach. Your keywords are your market. Your keywords are your market. Your keywords are your market. I do a lot of research into search for your market and see where you are positioned relative to your competition, and kind of start there to look at what your opportunities are. And as I pointed out, I have this model we use to set expectations and budgets, and to look at when you expect to be positive, and then we as we move forward, we just take this model and go out month by month and then track it on against reality, against what we projected. And then the results tracking. So, all of the responses that come in by phone or by form, on your website or on your landing page, we'll track all of those and then look at your actual conversions and see where your opportunities are. So it is, it's the greatest thing about digital marketing in general, and particularly PPC, pay-per-click, is the transparency. Every moment, every second, while the campaign is running, you have visibility into what that market is doing, and then how you're performing, with the traffic that is coming to you. So personal fitness training and trainers at home, great opportunity for you guys, personal trainers here in Louisville. And I hope to hear from you, pass this along if you know a personal fitness trainer, and otherwise, if you're a business owner here in Louisville, look forward to talking with you about just general questions about what your opportunities are and what your growth objectives are for this great year of 2021. Happy New Year. Have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you next week.